Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and it is another red letter day when we have our friends in from the Academy of Our Lady of Peace. Always unbelievable content when they are in the house. I wanted to say that I'm honored to have a guest co-host with me, Erin Tanner, who was just involved in so many things in our community. Erin, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
We've got some folks here again from OLP, as they're known. Inez Odem, Strategic Initiatives Director, if I got that right, and Kaila Weedman, Interim Director of Institutional Advancement. Inez and Kaila, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Drew. We're excited to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Erin.
Yes. Earlier when we were talking out in the lobby here, they just had raving about Our Lady Peace. Can you tell us a bit about the mission?
Absolutely. So the mission of OLP is loving the dear neighbor without distinction. It's the oldest high school in San Diego, the only all-girls high school serving grades 9 through 12. And we were founded by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet, and it is absolutely one of the most rich environments that you'll ever find.
So you've been there for how long?
This is my third year.
Third year, okay. And are you from San Diego? Where are you from?
From Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Beautiful. So you made your way 3,000 miles or however it is over here. Do you know of OLP when you were back in Cambridge?
I didn't know of OLP back in Cambridge.
Because there is no other OLP around.
Having that whole experience of an all-girls education is so valuable and powerful. And there are many schools through the International Coalition of Girls' Schools across the world.
Right.
And we are so privileged to have OLP in our own backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. Kaila, how long have you been involved?
I have been an employee of OLP for about 4.5 years. However, I am also a proud alumna. So for me, OLP has always been on my radar. I'm actually a second generation. My mom, 2 of my aunts went there, and I've basically known since I was a small child that was going to be my future. And certainly coming back a few years ago as an employee really did feel like coming home. It is a very special place.
Did you do all your schooling? Is it a K-12?
No, it's grades 9 through 12.
So all 4 years there?
I did all 4 years.
Yeah.
And actually, historically, OLP was a boarding school in its original conception in 1882. And we had boarders on our current campus even. We moved to our current spot in about 1920 up in Normal Heights. And we did have boarders there at least until the 60s. And at that point, we phased out elementary school and boarders. But we still have a number of alums who come back and have fond memories of their time actually living on campus.
Talk about this venerable event you have, the 9th Annual Women's Symposium. What's that all about?
The 9th Annual Women's Symposium is simply a watershed experience for OLP. We are so fortunate in that our head of school, Dr. Lauren Leck, is a visionary, and when she joined OLP, rather than have a traditional career fair, she wanted to instead have a format in the form of a women's symposium that would mimic what girls will experience when they're out in the world, ultimately as professionals. And so over these past 9 years, as we go into our 9th annual, there's been an opportunity to bring really many luminary women to San Diego, to our campus, so that our girls then have the experience of engaging in a symposium format.
Right, and so there'll be different panels. Is there a certain theme?
There is. Our theme is The Hope is Here. And when we talk about The Hope is Here, we think of it as the very girls that are a part of OLP. They represent that hope. And truly, much as we talk about the idea of the children are our future, they are. They legitimately are. And so how do we really guide and shape the future? We educate. We provide opportunities for girls to see women who are role models and who have gone ahead of them, whether that field is social justice, whether that is in medicine, whether that's in the law, what have you. We're providing that sort of opportunity.
That sounds good. And you have a keynote speaker that's not from this neck of the woods, correct?
That is correct. So we have Maya Gabeira joining us this year as our keynote speaker. Maya is a Brazilian big wave surfer. She's actually flying all the way from Portugal to join us. And actually, she's very well known for having surfed the biggest wave in 2020, man or woman. And she holds the all-time record for biggest wave surfed by any woman. In addition to her wonderful athletic abilities, she also serves as a UNESCO champion for ocean and youth. So we're excited about sort of that inspirational message she'll be able to share with our guests, not just about her own role in persevering as a female athlete, but how she's really giving back on a global scale.
Oh, it's terrific. I'm Drew Schlosberg, the Community Spotlight Show here on Mission Fed. We're going to call it Mission Fed Studio, I guess, here in Scripps Ranch. What do you think of the studio, by the way? Do you like the studio? Yeah, we started doing this about a year ago, not quite a year ago, actually. And so we used to be at different studios around the county, and we're honored. Mission Fed had turned into be a sponsor of the Spotlight Show. I've been doing the Spotlight Show since 2007. I'm sure you guys weren't even born at that point in the aspect. But, what's nice about it is Mission Fed, it fits beautifully into our Spotlight Show because they do so many great things in the community. We are joined by my guest co-host, Erin Tanner. She is a community advocate, been doing just wonderful things for our community, and we really appreciate you joining us. Our friends from the Academy of Our Lady of Peace is Inez Odem, Strategic Initiatives Director, and joined by her colleague, Kaila Weedman, Interim Director of Institutional Advancement. Erin, you got another question?
Yeah, I do. So one of the workshops, Inez, that you guys will have is the Finding Your Voice for the DEIB advocacy. And tell me more about that.
Well, we are really so excited about that particular workshop. At the end of the day, what we will have are not only women who have expertise in the whole DEI space and diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we also have 3 students who are very passionate about the topic. And so the 6 of them have actually been collaborating to prepare for this. So it's going to be a little bit, when you enter that particular workshop, having an opportunity to hear from these women in terms of their expertise. And then we're going to be breaking out into smaller groups, each girl taking a topic, something like self-advocacy or how to formulate your perspective and make sure that it's being communicated well. And you'll have a chance to rotate within the actual workshop. So it's really meant to be very hands-on and an opportunity to, frankly, almost create a Harkness circle feeling where you're engaging in dialogue with one another.
I'm so happy to hear that you guys are including that. It's DEIB is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And gosh, we can always do more, do better, and do it together.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, Erin, you're the mom of 2 daughters, right?
I am.
Right. And so when you hear what OLP, right in the wheelhouse of strengthening, women, young girls to become women and professionals on that aspect of it, that's got to warm your heart to some of these stories.
All for it. And actually, ironically, was just thinking about when I think of boarding schools or all women's schools, I didn't know that we even had one in our backyard.
Right.
And so,
and we're trying to make sure that everyone knows. I mean, I would say that, Kaila as an alumna is an incredible role model as someone who embodies all the best there is in OLP in terms of her demeanor, her poise, her intellect. But the thing that always separates a person who has gone to the Academy of Our Lady of Peace is her sense of service and caring for others and really being committed to seeing this be a better world. It's in their DNA. So I'm incredibly proud to have Kaila as a colleague and the girls of OLP always really just take what it is to be a global citizen to the next level.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. When we come back from break, I want to talk to Kaila about that and so forth, and the 20 different clubs that you folks have, from the Humane Society to Answer for Cancer, the Green Team, and 4 million also in between, and talk a little bit about that as well. We'll get back to the symposium as well and see if there's other things we can do to help forward that aspect. Not sure if you're still looking for our sponsors or not. When we return to Drew Schlosberg's Community Spotlight show, or Spotlight on the Community, here we're brought to you by Cloudcast Media on Mission Fed Credit Union's headquarters in the Mission Fed studio. And Mission Fed has been doing wonderful things for our community for more than 60 years. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community, a show brought to you by Cloudcast Media and Mission Fed Credit Union. We're doing our show from the Mission Fed studios here at their headquarters in beautiful Scripps Ranch. We are joined by Inez Odem, Strategic Initiatives Director for the Academy of Our Lady of Peace, and joined by her colleague Kaila Weedman, Interim Director of Institutional Advancement. And I'm honored to have as co-host today Erin Tanner, a community advocate. And I know, Erin, you got some more questions.
I do. Inez, can you tell us more about the community outreach efforts that you have here? I see that there's Feeding America, Answers to Cancer, gosh, so many, 20 different clubs.
Sure. So the wonderful thing is that not only does OLP have clubs that our girls have been involved with that are so myriadly different, right? I mean, we have clubs that, as you mentioned, from the Humane Society to we go down to Mexico and we do volunteer work. So there's an incredible scope. And what you're seeing in the Women's Symposium is an opportunity where we've tried to find topics and workshops that speak to the interests of our students. So we have women in medicine, we have women in business. So we've provided entrepreneurial sessions. We've provided sessions that are going to be looking at immunology and cancer and how it impacts you based on your gender. So really what we're trying to do is make sure that we're being very pointed in pairing up the kinds of offerings with the interests of our girls.
Right. And so, Kaila, the symposium is going to be on Friday, March the 24th, right?
Correct. Yes, Friday, March 24th on our historic campus. And we certainly are hoping that we can break some records this year with external attendance. I think we are well on our way. I do not hesitate to say I think this is the best symposium we've had so far.
That sounds good. And how do people get tickets to this? It's not free, correct?
So tickets are on sale. They are $30 a piece. You can visit aolpsymposium.org, purchase tickets there. We also have a number of sponsorship availability. If any corporate partners would like to join us, we currently have a number of wonderful companies in San Diego joining us as sponsors, including RCP Block and Brick, Hologic, CGI, MyPoint Credit Union, Pillsbury Winthrop Shaw Pittman, and K2 Fundraising Agency, Torrey Pines Bank, and our current parents, Joseph and Dahlia Smallwood. So we do still have some availability to be a panel sponsor, to be a workshop sponsor. It's great exposure for our corporate partners, and it's helping them build the pipeline for their future female leaders.
Yeah, no, that makes all the sense in the world. And with this aspect, will this sell out? Do these symposiums usually sell out?
It will sell out, yes. So we currently—
Get your tickets now, folks.
Exactly. We have about 1,000 people on campus already, and then we're expecting a couple hundred more. So we will cap out. I think some of our sessions and panels are already capped out, but don't worry, we have quite a variety of options. There really is something for everyone, but don't hesitate.
Let me chat with this, and Inez, I'll start with you on it, and Kaila, you can fill in the blanks on this. Listen, the history of OLP is certainly well documented, and by the success of the folks who have graduated, like Kaila, coming back to doing a wonderful work, in Kaila's case, for the school itself. But the game-changing things that they do in the community and wherever community they wind up. But there are probably still some challenges. In one of them, I see nothing earth-shaking on this, even though I think it's changing for the better, and that is the underrepresentation of women in fields such as STEM.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Indeed, one of the panels that we have is called He for She, which is based on the United Nations initiative on gender equality and encouraging men to realize that they very much have a role and a voice and a part to play. And so indeed, we are going to have a panel that is looking specifically at that. And I encourage folks to also just Google the UN initiative on He for She. There's a lot of great resources and information about how men can be allies. We love men. We love to see them as allies in our lives. And so absolutely know, too, that if you're a man, you're listening to this and you're interested in coming to the Women's Symposium, we would also extend an invitation.
We would love to have you.
Well, listen, I think collaboration is the key. We just spent a good part of our interview, Aaron, with Forever Balboa Park talking about this. And if you're not collaborating in the 21st century, you're going to die a slow death, to be honest with you. And maybe a quick one for that matter. I don't mean literally, but you have to do that in these days. The resources are not growing. They're tighter. And now collaboration, 1 + 1, really does equal 3 and 4 and that aspect of it. So I think that's terrific. And then, listen, the males that are out there that think, hey, what are you talking about here? I said, no, you need to be collaborating with everybody in this. I don't care what you look like, white, green, purple, Martian, doesn't make a difference in this whole aspect of it. So I think that's really important. Do you folks do a lot? I'll start with you on this, Kaila. Do you collaborate with other schools in the region?
In fact, we do a lot. Inez earlier mentioned ICGS, the International Coalition of Girls' Schools. So we are actually part of a global organization of other girls' schools. Our Dr. Leck, our head of school, actually serves on that international board. So we are constantly collaborating, not just with other institutions in California and the United States, but really all around the world on best practices for educating future female leaders. And then, of course, here in San Diego, we do a lot to collaborate with students from other schools. Our students 3 years ago started the first all-girls teen hackathon in San Diego. It's something that we really take a lot of pride in. And very early on, our students realized they wanted to extend the invitation to students from other schools. They sought out corporate partners to make that happen, reduce all barriers for participation. And since then, we've had students from over 30 zip codes participate in that every year. So it's definitely been a big success, and our students understand intrinsically that importance of collaboration.
And we'll mention, too, that we have a beautiful relationship with St. Augustine's
I was just going to say that.
The all-boys high school, and in fact, literally the other day had some of their ASB members on campus and some of their students. So we're doing even more to foster that longstanding relationship.
We love the word Mally at OLP.
Mally. Be a male ally.
Male ally.
Mally.
I love
Nice.
that.
Put that into your lexicon.
I'm going to do. Did that come out of you folks? Make that up?
Sure, we did.
Of
I
course
don't
you
know
did.
that we can totally take credit, but maybe we'll take credit for popularizing it.
Right.
You know what? Listen, that's part of the game.
That's
Someone's
it.
got to come up with the idea, and someone's got to blast it out over here. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing wonderful things in our region for more than 60 years. We're chatting with our friends from the Academy of Our Lady of Peace, Inez Odem, Strategic Initiatives Director, joined by her colleague, Kaila Weedman, Interim Director of Institutional Advancement and an alumnus of OLP. I'm honored to have sitting next to me in the catbird seat over here my guest co-host, Erin Tanner, a community advocate. Erin, other questions you have?
Yeah, so some of the challenges that you guys face, or maybe with the students, having two daughters myself, and then just thinking of the kind of fire hose that our young adults or young women specifically are getting all the time about growing up in these times, social media, different things. Can you elaborate more on their challenges and how you guys encourage them?
One area that I want to make sure we touch upon is we have a group called Pilot Parents that are very, very involved in the life of the school, and even parent education is such a big part of that, because we know that parents are equally trying to just keep up with the bombardment of social media, all these things. And so one of the things that I think OLP we can take great pride in is that we really try to make sure that we're addressing those cutting edge issues by bringing in speakers, bringing in workshops to educate parents in conjunction with the efforts that we make with our students.
We believe that parents are the primary educators of their children, and while we are excited to journey along with them, we believe that they also need to have those tools to support the emotional and social growth of their daughters, especially as the world is so rapidly changing around us. Again, this idea of collaboration, we can do so much better by our students when we're working in partnership with their parents.
Well, and listen, we all know parents are the model. They're the first teacher,
Exactly.
And in many ways, maybe the last teacher, of them, lifelong teachers. We know that for sure. And when you look at this and you see this aspect of it, and you take a step back and go, oh yeah, well, my parents personally modeled reading. So I was up early in the morning trying to catch the newspaper when I got thrown, and reading the sports section of the LA Times. That's what I grew up reading. That's why I learned how to read, to be honest with you, in that aspect. But they used to read the paper all the time. And so, and whether, Erin, it's your, two daughters watching what you're doing and these aspects being, I know you're a big steward in the environment, and it is all very, very possible, or very, part of this, what needs to happen on it. A lot has been talked about with social media. Like anything in life, good things, if used the wrong way, don't turn out well. And, and you just have to be very careful how you're using all this stuff. I know for a fact that Cloudcast is excited to work with OLP on some podcasts and TV stuff that you're doing, and very impressed with this. I think my colleague Charles Parisi has been talking to Lauren Leck about this. We could spend another 5 hours just talking about all those things that you folks do in that area. But we got just a few minutes to go here. Why don't you shout out, Kaila, the symposium information one more time, where people can get tickets to the 9th Annual Women's Symposium?
Sure. You can join us at the 9th Annual Women's Symposium, which is happening on Friday, March 22nd. Friday, March 24th at the Academy of Our Lady of Peace at our historic campus. You can visit aolpsymposium.org to purchase your tickets or to review some sponsorship opportunities. We also this year are kicking off our 9th Annual Symposium with a reception the night before on our campus.
Nice.
We'll be joined by many of our prior speakers. It will be a great opportunity for our guests 21 plus to network, have a glass of wine. We're offering the opportunity for headshots, and we'll also be hearing from a special speaker as well. So be sure to sign up, purchase your tickets. You can again do that at aolpsymposium.org to join us Thursday night, the night before, for the reception, or Friday the 24th for the symposium during the day.
No, that sounds terrific. Inez, any final comments?
Well, I just wanted to say the reception is going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 23rd. And the headshots, it's a wonderful thing. Who among us doesn't need a refreshed headshot? So we've created this incredible financial deal to just come in, get your headshot for a very, very nominal fee. And we even are going to have a complimentary makeup artist there to touch up your makeup if you want right before your close-up. Mr. DeMille.
Yes, I was very, very good. I'm going to, not use anything older than my 25-year-old picture. That's all there is to it over here. Kaila, do you have any final comments?
I just encourage you to attend this event. It really is a fabulous opportunity to network with other professionals throughout San Diego, meet those next generation of female leaders, and really support women across the board.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. Erin, any final comments?
Oh gosh, this has just been delightful. Thank you both for coming today.
Yeah, really appreciate it. And we know we're going to have some more interviews with OLP, and we love having when the students come in as well. And just with you, great success with the symposium. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show on Cloudcast Media, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things for San Diegans for more than 60 years. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.